Brandon Driver with Electric Auto Squad. I made a friend here the other day and I was telling her about my YouTube stuff, and she told me that she was interested in making her next car a Tesla. And she said, do you have anything that kind of talks about all the cars? Because I don't even know how much they cost or the features yet. And I thought, I don't think I have something like that yet. So here we are. I'm going to go over some of the features that makes Tesla unique, and then I'm going to talk briefly about each model they sell right now, cost, range, ideal customer, and kind of just give you an overview of what Tesla sells. First, let's talk about maintenance. The average gas vehicle has about 200 moving parts in the drivetrain, which is a lot. The average Tesla has about 17. That means there's no worry about oil changes, there's no worry about a transmission or alternator or belts or anything else that can go wrong in a gas car. There are a couple things you have to take care of. You do have normal tires on there, and you do have to take care of your air filters in the car for your air conditioning. That's about it. And yes, I know I didn't mention brakes, and I'm getting to that next. Your brake system in a Tesla is very unique. The way that you brake and slow down is not how you would in a normal car. You still do have a brake pedal, but every time you relax off your accelerator, what it does is it uses the rear motor of the car and it spins it backwards, and it captures that kinetic energy you're using and it slows the car for you. It also recharges your battery just a little bit. So if you're ever driving a Tesla downhill, then you're actually sometimes even gaining back range into the car because of the way that works. Think of a Tesla motor as having two huge magnets that spin around each other. And every time you use that braking system, it's not wearing anything down or rubbing anything. It's just using those magnets backwards. And what that does is, in a gas car, you get maybe 200 and 250,000 miles before you're worried about replacing the engine. In a Tesla motor, you're worried at about 1,000,000 miles, which is a really long time to own a car. And also, Tesla's really famous for their autopilot system and a lot of the safety features that come into the car. Autopilot is the closest thing we have to a full self-driving car these days. That's on a widespread market software release, and Tesla's working furiously at getting to a fully autonomous vehicle, which hopefully should happen in the next year or so. All right, now let's talk about the models. First, Tesla sells the Model 3. It starts at 35,000 and it gets anywhere from 220 miles all the way up to 322 miles on a full charge. And it's a great sedan. It comes standard with 4 doors, 5 seats, trunk, frunk, trunk in the back. We refer to the front trunk as frunk, but there's a lot of storage in the Model 3. It's low to the ground. It looks kind of like a Porsche 911, and it's designed to be a simple but strong Tesla. It's the one you'll probably see most on the road right now, as it's the least expensive and easiest to get into, but also because it really drives well. And I actually have one. I've owned it for 1.5 years. I've been on a lot of road trips on it. I've done an 18-hour road trip in it before. Supercharging it is really not that difficult. And when I stop, it's maybe 15 to 20 minutes to get the charge I need before I get back on the road. And autopilot in that is a whole different experience. So I'm a huge fan of the Model 3. The ideal customer for a Model 3 is going to be someone who just doesn't want to spend too much money but does want to get into a Tesla, or maybe doesn't have a lot of people to chauffeur around and just is looking for a pretty simple car. A lot of real estate agents will go for a Model 3. Anybody who does a lot of driving in a day and just wants to charge back up at home and is tired of paying for oil and gas, probably going to be looking at a Model 3 in the future. Number 2, the Model Y. These start at 50,000 because they're not making a short range version, meaning they have only the long range version that starts at 50,000. They're going to be making a rear wheel drive variant of this in the future, and eventually they'll also be making a 7-seat version of the Model Y. It's basically a taller crossover version of the Model 3. They share a lot of the same technology, and it's designed for having a lot more space, which is the trade-off for a little bit less performance and a little less range. The long-range all-wheel drive gets about 316 miles on a full charge, and the performance model will be a little bit slower than the Model 3, but you're getting a lot more headspace and a lot more storage in the back. I'm 6'2". I really appreciate getting in and out of a taller vehicle. It's a lot easier for me. And even though I love my 3, I have definitely been appreciating the Model Y from afar. The ideal person owning a Model Y is going to be someone who likes having a larger vehicle, or maybe has more family members to take around town, or someone who just needs more storage in the back, maybe for a business or just for that extra Costco run where you really want to have all the storage you can. Number 3 is the Model S, and real fast I want to check in and ask for a like if you're enjoying the video for the YouTube algorithm. It boosts the video and helps more people find it, and greatly helps the channel, so thank you very much. The Model S is Tesla's flagship sedan. It's an awesome car. It was the first one they ever made in 2012, and these days it's come quite a long way. It gets 402 miles on a full charge, and it starts at 75,000. It's definitely the luxury sedan of the group. If you're looking for something that's still sedan, but you're just trying to stay in the higher end luxury and you're trying to get something that goes fast and far, sounds like the Model S is probably going to fit what you're looking for. There were some Model S's that used to have 7 seats that had a couple of rear-facing jumper seats and a few that had sunroofs on them too. These are discontinued features, so you might find that those have been out and about for a bit. And Tesla did have a model change on the Model S. They used to have a black nose cone on the front they no longer have. So the Model S has been around the longest, and these are phenomenal vehicles, especially if you have a need for speed, because the 0 to 60 time of the Model S Performance is 2.4 seconds, which is disgusting. I used to sell a lot of Teslas and I worked for the company, and when I did, when we went on test drives in a Performance S, I used to have to warn people, put your head back against your headrest, because I'm serious. Before you step on it, you'll want your head back because you can actually injure yourself because the car is that fast. I've heard many people refer to it as owning your own roller coaster. And yeah, it kind of feels that way. Number 4, the Model X. And this is the most expensive model that's on the market right now and the most fully loaded with tech. Model X is the one you'll see. It's very famous for its falcon wing doors. It's got a huge windshield, feels kind of like sitting in the cockpit of a helicopter, and it can sit all the way up to 7 people. And it's the largest that's Tesla sells right now. It definitely fits in the SUV crossover category, and it's got a bunch of other little tech pieces in it that make it feel that extra bit futuristic, kind of like soft closed doors. And yes, it does do the dancing mode that you might have seen on YouTube before. Model X starts at 80,000 for the long range, which gets about 350 miles. It's really ideal for the kind of person that has a need for family members to come with them, or maybe extra storage for a business, like I was saying, and the Model Y is not big enough. And it's also, yes, a very flashy car, and so there are a lot of celebrities that own Model X's, and if you're the kind of person that really likes the whole status thing, then yes, the Model X is probably perfect for you. But also, I've seen people use it for towing and also just for all-around use for business. If you need to fold the seats back flat, then you've got plenty of extra cargo space in there. So, what model are you leaning towards? Let me know in the comment section below. And it's totally okay if you still have questions about which model you're leaning towards. Electric Auto Squad is a business that helps people buy their first Tesla. And my contact info will be in the description. Send me a message, please. It's literally what I do for business, and I offer free consults to help people get started. Check out my video up here about the Cybertruck. I did get to go see it in person, and that thing is awesome. And I got a lot of close-up photos and a lot of thoughts about it. And let me know if you have an idea for another video. Stay safe.